What's up, everybody? This is Lord Hokage Hyuga. Today is our first episode of the podcast, reviewing the Naruto Storm connection. Come join us in discussing about the game. And today I have two of my hosts, Toshi Dream. Say hello.
What's going on, people? Toshi, aka Dream. Excited to talk about Storm. It's a lot to talk about, man. This year's Storm is.
And then I also have another person with us, and his name is Pyro. Say hello, Pyro.
It's your boy Pyro the Fire God in the building. Although I got an opinion about Storm Connection.
So let us get into the conversation. So what I don't even know where to begin with this, but what do you guys kind of like think of like the whole connection game so far since the game has came out?
First, I want to start off by saying I love Storm, so there might be it was a little bit of bias when I first brought it. It was like it's been years since a new Storm game that wasn't just a revamp or a reboot or. But I don't know. I think I feel as if the game is good. I feel like them dropping it without custom matches until literally like 3 days ago was a little bad. But I'm not gonna lie, this year is just the year of cheese. I feel like it's a lot of cheesy things, a lot of spammers. Just a lot of stuff that is stressful, man. I probably gained gray hairs off of rank, man, with some of the shit that could be abused this year. But nevertheless, I'm enjoying the game outside of just that stuff.
I personally think that the Storm game, since it came out, it was like first we didn't really like have any customs, and it was like, okay, everyone was grinding to actually get to be like hero or whatever the new rank is in there. I don't know precisely, but whatever that is, it's kind of was like, okay, it's like everyone was grinding, everyone was spamming nonstop. Like, I'm not disrespecting anyone when I say this, but we all were kind of just using whatever to get up to the top, and it was a lot, because when the game came out, it's like, I know people went and started story mode, and I would love to get your guys' opinion on this. Me personally, when I started playing the story mode, it was good. I liked it. I think, personally for me, I think that they could have done a little bit more to the story mode. It was kind of like, it wasn't really kind of like put together right. I would say I kind of felt really bad for the person. What's her name? Oh, I forgot her name. The girl with the shining gun. I felt bad for her in her hearing about her story, and kind of gave me a little bit emotional in that case, because I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a really sad story, especially when Boruto, this is spoiler alerts if anyone didn't finish that story mode, is that when Boruto kind of went back in time to help her out in her past, so she didn't feel like she was like, I guess, more of a slave to her clan. What did you think, Toshi?
Man, I'll be honest. I'm a sweat, dog. I booted up that shit, went straight to online, nigga. I didn't even play the story mode, but so I can't really speak on that. But I heard that from what I've heard about the story mode, I heard that it was like you said, like it seemed kind of quickly done. Like there could have been more to it. It wasn't as in depth as the other Storm game story modes and stuff. But yeah, as far as story mode, I didn't really play it. I probably hopped in practice and then went straight into online play.
I agree. It was like the online mode, it was probably like the first thing I actually did too, to try it out. It was confusing, I would say, because let's be clear, we had like, you didn't even have ninja info cards. We couldn't really like review it until there was like a certain way how to review it. But then it was like looking on the leaderboards of, your friends and other players of like where they are. So when we were on the online mode, it was just like, okay, I'm looking at this, I'm seeing my friends, I'm just like, okay, like, I see like their win ratio and all this other stuff, but I'm just like, why is that not on there already? And then the biggest mistake that Bankai Neko did is that they did not add customs matches for like us to invite our friends. And that was kind of like the biggest problem of them all, because, that's what really all of us, we really wanted us to play with our friends more than anything. I think even more than even going on rank. Like, let's be clear, we wanted to play with our friends more than going on rank. So to not have that from the start of the game, came out in November, right?
Yeah, I believe.
So November to December, all the way to close to the end of January now, is that it was very kind of like upsetting to not have that in there. So just playing around rank was fun and everything, but then when you saw like people kind of going overboard with the characters, it was like too much. But what's your thoughts about the online ranking and everything, Mr. Toshi?
Oh my god, I have a lot of gripes about fucking rank, man. Excuse my language. But to start off, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, it's 2023. I don't. You guys have been making games since I was excuse my language again, almost. Been making games since I was like 9, 10ish. Like in elementary school, and each of those games came with custom matches, and a way to play with friends and stuff like that. And I feel like if they had thought, I don't know what was going through their minds. They decided to drop a game in online play, which is playing with your friends and not, having to be local in the same house. So being able to play with your friends across the world or whatever. I don't know why they didn't do that. I believe if they did do that, because another big thing about this Storm is like it plays very differently than the other Storms, and to the point where it's like people who have played Storm before, when they got to the Storm, it was like, okay, I have to relearn this game. Some of the stuff they added was good, but I feel like if they would have added custom matches, that learning curve and that complaint wouldn't have been as bad, because you would have had the opportunity to learn that with your friends instead of being thrown into, sweaty lobbies with spammers and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Personally, I think that it was kind of like a problem overall because, you know, I can understand Bandai Namco's idea of trying to make the Storm game like, you know, fun for everyone because in Storm 4 it was more based on skill. And, you know, you had to kind of like, you know, keep it up there. You know, you had to be very skilled at the game. Now, Storm Connections is a whole entirely different story. This is based like on anyone who can actually become good in a matter of seconds and learning something new and just adapting it to the fighting style. And that's the thing that excuse me. It was really kind of like the shockingest thing to me, but I guess I understand it because, you know, it helps the others to kind of like, you know, feel like they actually matter into playing the Storm because a lot of people had to really work hard to do endless combos or, you know, tech and all this other type of stuff. But here, you know, it doesn't really require so much skill to do that, and it makes anyone actually could do those type of skill sets. Now,
I definitely agree with that, and I just want to add to that, which I feel like with this storm game is like they'll take like two steps forward and three steps back. Like I think this is one of the best storm games for combos for what they added for, you know, being able to catch people off the ground and different ways to extend combos and everyone having, you know, like a easier combo canceled and, you know, in Storm 4. But then it's like, okay, you know, for the skilled players, the payoff, like how you said, like people who are not as skilled, it's easier for them to, you know, combo and do cool stuff. But then it's the skilled players who get punished because they add the whole damage counter thing, to where if I'm being punished for being good at the game, I'm comboing this person, and the longer the combo lands, the less damage I do, you know? And it's like, why, you know, why allow us to, you know, add all these great things for combos and, you know, making it more like a fighting game to then add a damage counter that punishes players for utilizing that to an extent. You know what I'm saying?
right. Pyro, what's your thoughts about this?
In all honesty, the way I feel about it is that damage counter thing, they added that because they decided it was a good idea to remove damage increasing your substitutions. So now your subs are based on a time frame, which that in itself was probably one of the dumbest things they could have did right there. The fact that you thought it was a good idea to remove damage increasing subs messed up the whole thing. Now that kind of ties into why they did the damage mitigation, because in their minds, we are going to do this to the substitutions, but because now we've done all this other stuff to increase how people can do combos, we can't have combos. Let's be honest, the fight would be over with the way they got the sub set up. So to me, it seems like they thought they had a great idea, but in all honesty, it was a stupid one. The chakra refilling on its own as long as you're not moving, I have mixed feelings on, because you kind of just, it's a storm game. Like, how often are you not moving? Like, and if I'm being still, I can charge my own chakra. Like, that's kind of, it's one of those things that's kind of pointless.
I get where you guys are coming from on this. I feel though is that for starters with the, you know, substitution, I think that, you know, that was kind of a little bit too much, because when you're, prime example, when you're in that air and someone's comboing you, you want to sub really quick. But the fact that it takes a while for the subbing system to actually come back, that wasn't really the best thing to actually do. I think that was kind of like one of those things that you kind of like, they didn't really need to kind of have it in there. I also think that one of the things that could have been done better, like, okay, I see the whole, like, I like the whole guard, like, the guard breaking don't last too long, because that was kind of like an issue back then.
Guard break ultimate cheese, I used to hate that, man.
Yeah. Like, people kept spamming with that. So they, like, that was cool. It even applied to counters, too. So, it's not as in, like, oh, yeah, you could just do that and then this could happen. The infinite combos, I would say I think that was a good idea. Like, you could still attack them on the ground. That was good. The chakra, like, chakra coming back, as Pyro said, I think that was a good idea that they brought that into there, because, let's be clear, the chakra recovery is, we had to really charge up our chakra, and it had to be, like, real quick. Honestly, in Naruto, their chakra kind of comes back. So, it's like, it's kind of cool that we actually had that, even regardless if we were moving or not. Now, I think that they could have done a bit better, where some of the characters itself, like, the voice, like, let's be honest, the voice, for the English dub,
y'all use English dub?
Yeah, the voices for them on the game, it's sources. I found out that they had used an AI to kind of put the voices for the characters with, like, how they sound in the game, and it's terrible. They don't even sound like, I kind of rather prefer them actually done it, like, getting the actors into, like, saying their lines and saying it for these characters, but it looked kind of bad, and like, it was just terrible. Like, what did you guys think of that?
Well, I can't really speak on the voicing thing, because most of the times I play, I'm not really, like, I don't have my TV too loud, because I find that to be distracting sometimes, and, like, my TV speakers are OD. But just, I wanted to add this before, we moved on to that, about the sub thing. I feel like the subs taking longer to regen isn't, in my opinion, this might be a hot take, it's not as bad, just because the game is so support heavy now. I like to look at certain supports, if you have the right support as extra subs.
Mm-hmm.
And the way, a sort of, hyper armor where you can't hit them out of it, it's very easy to bail yourself out of a combo with just your supports and no subs. It's very easy to, get back up and run at that. Like, the running in this game is immaculate. It's just so easy to just run away and spam jutsus, or, run away, use a jutsu, use a support, or get you out of combos. You know what I'm saying? So the sub thing hasn't really been a problem to me so far. I think that's a good balancing choice with the way supports are now. Because if the subs were how they were with the supports, how the supports are now with the hyper armor, bro, jeez, man, you'd be fighting forever trying to catch somebody.
I get where you're coming from on that.
Well, To me, now that's where we have a difference in opinion because my supports seem to act like they don't understand the assignment when it comes to helping me. It's like they decided that they want to take the day off, so they jump out there just to pretend like they got hit, so they ain't got to do nothing. I have the laziest supports in all the storm. Every time I call them out, if you are attacking, whether from the front, back, or side, they do nothing. They get hit. Why? I don't know. Sasuke supposed to be doing a Chigode. He gets hit. Pain supposed to be doing Almighty Push. He's wishy-washy. He don't get hit as much as Sasuke, but sometimes he getting wrapped up. Like, I know these characters have hyper armor. I know that when they get ready to do their jutsus, you don't supposed to be able to hit them. But for some odd reason, when it comes to me, they get hit more often than not. The subbing system, to me, it's failing because of the fact that it takes forever. And I say that because I see what some people like I said, today we were playing around. I counted out some people getting their subs and like after about 7 seconds done passed. Some people was 10. Mine was hovering around the 10 to 20 second mark. Like, it's so inconsistent and so imbalanced that it's not funny. And to touch on another subject that we was talking about with the guarding. The guard on this game is unnecessarily bad. Like, it doesn't help that the guard break is over with quickly because of how often a guard can break. I've been attacked, my guard break. I had a sub come back. As soon as my sub come back and I subbed out of something, tried to block, my guard broke instantly again, so I'm right back in the same situation. My guard be breaking a little too much for me. Now that's just me. I can only speak on my experience while I'm playing because I noticed that my guard breaks a lot.
Yeah, I feel like, just to reply to the supporters getting hit thing, I feel like it's all about a timing thing for sure. Like if you pop your support out at the wrong time before they really get a chance, because there is a little bit of there is a small window when your where your support first hits the ground where they can be attacked out of it. So that's why usually for me, what I do is like, if I could, with a little bit of future sight, I could tell that, okay, this person is about to hit me. I'm about to drop this combo, or, this person is about to get to me. I'll pre-charge up, or pre-summon my support so that by the time they're actually doing their attack, the support's already in there, that hyper armor window. So I feel like it's a timing thing for sure with that. And as for guards too, I do think that guards, I don't know if it's a character thing. I feel like some character guards break faster than others and stuff like that. But I also believe that the guard break isn't as long as it used to be. I feel like people recover very well. Like it's been times where I'll break somebody's guard and I'll be off by like a second and they're already back guarded,
I think that for the guarding is, it's kind of timing, I guess, to me is how I see it, is that, well, me personally, I'm a defensive player. I'm really known in the community as the turtle style fighter because I really am more on the defense and quickly could counter and block it. So I'm skilled with that. It can also be a double-edged sword as well because it makes my guard get broken a lot quicker. But then again, I have rotation for that. So but in my opinion for it is that me personally, I don't really have much of the issue with the guarding because, for a defensive player such as myself, I'm more used to the customs of it, even in Storm 4. So it's like, when it kind of like, when you're being in that defensive play style, it's like it kind of gets synced into your head. It's like, okay, you know what to do. And even ever since I played this game, I really have fought up against a lot of excuse my language, hyper crazy players that kind of just really kind of like rush. Loves the whole rushing thing. So myself, it's like, I see where Pyro is coming from. I also see where Toshi coming from. And it's, to me, it's like, you have to be kind of like more on the guard and kind of like more see kind of through things quickly, because, you're going to run into such players who are like, they're going to like come at you quick. And you got those crazy people like those Minato players. Sorry for that, but it's the truth. Those Minato players that are very hyper and like really be super fast and quick. So, and other characters who have the same kind of like a speed type thing, that will actually like, oh, they're on the quick defense, like Kawaki, he's very fast. Like, I recently played him and he's really fast on his feet. And, there's some other probably characters too that I haven't tried so much, but I think our viewers know who they are, that are very fast. But I'd say being a defensive player as myself is just that you kind of have to be more quick on your feet, because those type of things, it happens very quick. You may be like, okay, I have the upper hand, but they kind of try their hardest to break your guard. Whether if it's a jutsu, whether if it's just a chakra dash, whether if it's a support chakra dash, those things there is what they will try to do. They use as whatever kind of tools they can to try to break that guard very quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck too. And whenever we get to talking about broken characters, man, do I have a lot of characters to list. But yeah, we're talking about guard breaking for sure. I do agree that like the damage on shield is crazy, and I feel like specifically for Ashura players, who like to spam that pulsating Rasengan. Like, it's crazy how much shield damage that does and how much stun and just destruction that one jutsu has on shield. So I do feel like they could have buffed shield life just a little bit, with all the new jutsus in the game and different things. So I see your point in that to a degree. But like Hugo said, I feel like there's a lot of ways to, mitigate that shield damage with support and your own ninjutsus, to where, you get that enough space or enough time to allow that shield to, regen. I feel like aggressive people, except for Minato, because he can teleport above you and just drop a Rasengan on top of you from all the way across the map. But most other hyper-aggressive players are at a very big disadvantage this year with the hyper armor and the support bailouts. It's very easy to make a hyper player lose like a bunch of subs if you use your supports the right way and your character the right way.
Yes, I agree with that.
Well, my thing is, when it comes to the whole guard thing, shield life. That's what we're saying, shield life. The reason I speak on Shield Life the way I do is because some things I've noticed about me. Why I keep on saying mine. I'm speaking from me. Like we can all speak from our point of view. And my point of view with my shield is, and it's been aggravating, is that let's say for instance, I sit up here and I'll be on the offense the whole time. And next thing I know, I done sat up here, did jutsus, combos, ninja tools, supports, everything on their guard, and they're just running and guarding, running and guarding, running and guarding. This whole time I'm sitting up here, I'm just chasing you, fighting, chasing, fighting, chasing, fighting. And then you turn around, hit me with a shooting, and my guard break out of nowhere. And it's like, I'm not understanding how is it that I'm sitting up here chasing you, doing all this damage to your shields, and your shield like supposed to be down. And it's like the game swaps our shields in that moment for some odd reason, because I know I've been putting some pressure on you, and you hit me once and mine break. Like my shields, I kid you not, I have loaded into a match. Loaded, I'm talking about we clicked OK, said connecting, loaded, side jump, somebody threw a shuriken and broke my guard. Beginning of the match. First move. When I tell you, I'm speaking from my point of view. That's why I say I don't know what it is about my guard. Mine. That's why I'm speaking for mine. I can't speak for yours. I can't speak for nobody else. That's the audience. Nobody. I can't speak for Jesus' guard because his guard probably immaculate, but mine is not. My guard be breaking at the most opportune times, and it's just aggravating. Now, okay, what was the subject? Because I feel like I went on a long-winded rant. I need to drop back.
You were very on point. We're talking about Shield Life for sure, but I don't know. I just like this year to move forward. I would just say like with everything you said is true. I do feel like there are some wonky times where it'll feel like your shield is made of paper, like pillows or whatever, and you know these ninjas just have weak arms, and it's like I get that. That's definitely happened to me before. I don't know about getting into the match with a shuriken, but I've definitely been like, there's no way my guard is broken. Like I literally just started blocking, so I definitely can see where you're coming from on that. But I just feel like there are a lot of out of shield options to negate that shield pressure with the right team, so it doesn't bother me as much, you know?
Yeah, like for me personally, it's like it's like I said, I got more accustomed to it, so it's just one of those things is, you know, I get where Pyro's coming from and type of stuff. We could get really annoying, but it's more on the sides of like practicing more. I'm kind of trying to maneuver your way out of those type of things and trying to kind of have your reflexes so good to the point where you can actually block such things that are coming towards you in the nick of time. You know, being a defensive player of myself for years playing this game, I know like kind of like reflex how like quick I am with that. So when I'm facing a speedy person or anything like that, or someone who's really constantly trying to break my guard and stuff like that, you know, I kind of know how to maneuver in such situations like that because, like, excuse me, I have like a turtle style fighting style, and you know, there's hearing these opinions from the both of you of like dealing with crazy stuff like that, because you know, like Pyro, so let's be real, there's some crazy characters, and these people like to try to use whatever it takes just to try to get to you, and from getting to that topic now, I think we should try to talk about the thing that, you know, even the viewers and us wanting to talk about is the character selection in this game. That's kind of
Bingo.
been
Naruto,
right.
Naruto.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you right now, every time I see a Minato player with more than a 5-win streak, I say, yeah, it's about to go down. I'm about to be stressing. It's like, it's so annoying because, like, I can understand if it took skill, you feel me? And I will say there are 2 levels. There's 2 levels of Minato spammers, right? There's the typical flying Raijin rollout Rasengan. Flying Raijin rollout Rasengan. You know, that's like their go-to. But when you start to go further up the rank and you start playing the better Minato spammers, which are still Minato spammers, by the way, then they just start catching you in that grab infinite lock where you're just getting grabbed out of everything, and it's like, bro, that character is so free. Like, it's just like annoying, man. It's been so many Minato players that I've played or seen at ranks, and I'm looking like, yo, when it comes to actual skill, actual dash canceling and everything else, right, counter and all that stuff, they have 0% of that. They're just pressing triangle square, triangle circle, support, run, triangle square, triangle circle, and it's like, bro, it's so hard to get around that. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
No, it's not. Hey, only reason I struggle, I will say this: it gets aggravating to a certain degree, especially if you don't have a pain. Because Minato, the one with the flying Raijin where he teleports above you, like that cancels and ignores so many different jutsus, and it's like he's instantly right there. He's one of those very, 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 very annoying characters. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen too much outside of maybe a well-timed Neji or Pain that actually just stopped that like that. For me,
bro, it was so bad.
Naruto, it's that Naruto that just slings clones at you. That is one of those supports that is so annoying, because here you are, they hurry up, do it, and they chakra dash in, because at that point there's none but pressure, because you can't really move like talk about it. He's just annoying in that way. Now Pain spam, Pain supporter.
You know,
like, I would like to say this, right? Because this is a big thing, and this is something that I haven't seen in the community so far as of yet, and maybe it's because the game is still fairly new. I feel like it's not a lot of ways to talk about like countering some of the spam that's out there. I feel like people just go out there and do it their own. One thing that I find works pretty well and always catches a flying Raijin spammer off guard, because it was so bad to the point where I actually searched up like, what the fuck do I do? And people say, you know, you just move. You can just move around, and I'm like, okay, that works, but it still doesn't allow me to punish them. You know, they can still just keep abusing it and just run away. What I do is, for the Minato spam, is I'll waste a sub the moment it hits. It'll bring me in the air where he's at, and then I'll dash him, and it's usually pushable at that point. You have to commit to using that sub though, so each time he does that, you gotta go down to sub. But if you time it correctly, and you make sure you're always above the Minato player in subs, you can always catch him lacking with that. And as far as Naruto support, what I usually do, which is another good thing that I'm glad they added this year, which I don't think a lot of people talk about, is being able to jump while guarding. If you are caught in that, if you jump and guard, the clones will actually push you back. So sometimes that'll get you out of range of, the incoming dasher or whoever's trying to attack you. If you just spam jump while you're blocking, it'll kind of keep you out of the way of, you know, receiving too much extra shield damage from the actual main character. You know what I'm saying?
But because I'm not gonna lie, you kind of confused me with something. Where you saying this is the game where they let you jump while guarding? You could always.
What I mean by that. What I mean by that is, you can, while you're guarding, like you could hold guard and still jump. In Storm 4, if you were guarding, I don't think it allowed you to guard and jump from a grounded position. You can always jump and guard, but in this game, I noticed while holding guard, you can jump.
Yeah, you always could. You could do it on Storm 3 too. Like that's how you like. That was one thing where that people used to use bait to hurry up and counter dash. Like they'll be holding the guard button and they'll just jump. They hold and jump hold and guard the whole time they jump. You could always guard and jump. Like on Storm 4 was whenever they you can still do air tilts on Storm 4, but you had to, you know what I'm saying, somebody had to touch your block first. So like while I'm jumping, I can guard, and if you hit my guard while I'm in the air, I can actually still do an air tilt. But
no, I was saying, I'm not. You can. I'm saying you can jump and then guard, right? What I'm saying is, as far as being on the, yeah, you could jump and guard. I know you could always do that. I'm saying when your character's on the ground and you're guarding, before, at least for me, I don't know if it's lag or something. First on Storm 4, if I was guarding on the ground, I could not press X to jump. I would just be guarding on the ground. I'm saying if you're already holding the guard button, not jumping and then pressing the guard button. I'm saying you can hold guard on the ground and jump at the same time. I don't know if that was in Storm.
I might need to go do a little research my damn self, but for the most part, that I remember, you always could. I can't research it right now, but I'm gonna test it out and later.
Yeah, I could be wrong though.
The point of the matter is that, you know, it came down to now is that Minato itself, that the favorite character of like everyone who loves to play him in the game has turned out to be actually a spamming character, because, you know, the Flying Raijin level 2 for Edo Minato, or no, I can't really speak so much on the live Minato, because it's not, I haven't really seen people actually spam him. It's more of the Edo one. And, you know,
that's the
well,
grab.
Yeah, the grab. You're right. Yeah.
The grab.
Yeah, that grab until, yeah, so yeah, actually, I stand corrected. So it's kind of sad that the creators kind of have made that into kind of like an spamming character, because now it's the character that everyone is like, I can't stand seeing this character on the field that someone's going to use a Minato and you don't know what they're going to do. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I actually got tired of that damn fucking Flying Raijin level 2 shit. Like, for instance, how can a rotation not block that? Like, for real, it comes down on the ground and you telling me I couldn't block that, but if he did a Rasengan on me, like just, you know, a charge in, I can block that, but I can't block the one that he's coming down with? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, on all honesty, yeah,
well,
like,
it has way too much priority for a teleporting move. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly.
Way
like,
too much.
And you have to like you said, Toshi, you have to like jump or like move to the side. I wanted to point that out there. Sorry for interrupting, but it's like it can be it'd be a bit too much sometimes, because it's like we have to do that just to avoid that, and that there should be something that could block that or anything. I think the most is what I see that could block that is the Infernal style ring, such as like Sasuke or Indra. So that really is the only thing that could stop that from coming down from people who likes to focus on using that and spamming that a lot. I have noticed that a lot. And I had, or right, you right, almighty push too, because the almighty push go back to that corner. Take your butt right back to that corner. Shit, you want to teleport to my side? Okay, I can almighty push you right back to that corner. Take you far back from there. Shoot, think twice before you teleport.
I will say this though. One thing about I miss, because I used to, back in the day when I saw a Minato player, it was either one or two things. Either A, I knew you were going to be a spammer, or B, I knew I had zero chance of beating you because your skills with Minato were going to be immaculate. My chances of catching you to hit you was going to be damn near non-existent because of how skilled Minato players used to be. It was a nightmare when you saw Minato on the field because seeing and catching him it was hard. Like, he had such fast ninja movements to the point where you can dash at him and he can side scroll you so fast. You didn't have to counter dash. All you had to do was just side move, then dash. Like, he was a nightmare to deal with. But now he has been reduced down to Rasengan, and that's all they know. And it's just like it's getting to the point now where the people are so support heavy. So I know why you have this support. I know why you have this person. Like, you're not gonna be doing too much leader switching because you don't want to lose the chance of their support. So you're not gonna be switching too much. You're just gonna be banking on these supports. Lee, everybody likes to use his kick because that kick, the tracking on that kick is ridiculous.
The ridiculous part about that is that you can't hit Lee, like, maybe with a fire. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I think a fireball or something like that, or projectile is the only thing. But it's like, overall, it's like Lee doing the moves in the air now and stuff like that, and then it could be, it's like you can't even combo him. It's taijutsu for one. It's not like any of the other characters. But back in Storm 4, I remember this too. You could hit Lee when he was still doing his jutsu, I believe. Actually, I think yeah. Huh?
Okay.
You couldn't?
You had to wait for him to finish. As soon as he finished, you could hit him.
Oh, okay.
But if you tried to counter dash him and hit him, like, you're gonna regret it.
Yeah, but it was just, it kind of became like kind of crazy because now Lee got even more overpowered. And it's like, oh, now he can do kicks in the sky and this backflip. It's just like, what the heck on these type of things. It's like with Minato too. It's like, you know, now the flying Raijin is a lot to deal with, and then you got this brand new Naruto that, or however you pronounce that Naruto. Yeah, like, he could do that, the similar jutsu as Minato as well, which is broken. And then if that's not worse, then you got the awakening mode, and then that could actually be overpowered overall. Like, it's crazy. The only thing that's good about that is that in the end, when his awakening mode is like, because this is good that they put this in the game, awakening modes do not last that long. That is probably the best thing that was probably put into the game. The awakening modes don't last that long.
But I will say this, but they had to do that because they made awakening modes way more busted. Like, awakenings back in the day, it was just like, I could fuck you up if you awakened on me. Now, the way they got it now, not so much.
Hey,
like, you awaken now, like, especially with the bigger awakenings, man, they can chocolate dash at you and go to doing all this other stuff. Get your big ass away from me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm an ultimate abuser. Like, when it comes to ultimate, like, I like when people use an ultimate, because what happens is, in my opinion, this might be a hot take, I'm like I said, I'm like a defensive player, so I like to turn my opponent's offense against them. And what ends up happening is, usually people in this game, they play a little bit more cautious because, you know, the supports. But when that awakening come on, boy, they think they Superman. You feel me? They start dashing and, you know, just and they become more predictable in my case, you know. Now, if it's a good awakening user, then it's a little bit different. And some of them, like Asuma, I didn't know his awakening was that crazy.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Oh my god, bro! That one took me for a loop. But most awakenings, I could get around because, you know, they become a little bit more aggressive and it's easier to, you know, get to them actually. Like, you know, and
well,
that's another thing we gotta get to. But
that's crazy. Unless they changed them, Suigetsu, because I remember whenever Suigetsu awakened. Until he did awaken, I don't know, I haven't fought a Suigetsu yet, and I haven't awakened with him on the game to see for myself. But it used to be you couldn't knock him down. Like, even if you hit him with a fireball, it'll just kind of push him back a little bit, but he's still on his feet. So I don't know if they would change that. Jubi Badara, busted ass awakening. Yeah, he had a busted awakening. Danzo with the insta kill. I haven't fought too many awakenings. Most of the awakenings are just either Tail Beast, Susanos, maybe a Naruto every now and again, and Pain. That's about it. I don't think I had to deal with a Hagoromo awakening yet.
Another hot take that the smaller awakenings, like where the characters actually keep their form and just gain different jutsus and stuff, are scarier to me than the Avatar awakenings, like where they get like Susanos and stuff. Only because, like, if you abuse the hyper armor on your jutsu and they sub it, they won't sub behind you. They'll just sub right back in front of you into the jutsu again. So it's like, it's very easy to exploit that, you know, them not subbing behind you and being stuck in front of you because their character's so big, there's nowhere for them to go.
See, now, I ain't gonna lie, my thing about I'm not too big on awakening. I'm not too big on trying to play cheesy supports. That's why, I just recently started playing with a lot of the newer characters just because, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to just be that guy missing out on characters as a whole just because I know that they're cheesy. Like, I try to avoid cheesiness because even back when I was on Storm 3, my whole thing was always, I like you to know that, you know what I'm saying, after the match was over with, if I got my win, you couldn't be like, oh, you had to do this or you had to do that. You just had to give me my props and just say, hey, that guy's good. That's how I always play Naruto. I didn't want to be the guy to spam it. I didn't want to be the guy to abuse glitches or anything of that nature. I just wanted to be the guy that whenever the fight was over with, you was just like, he's good.
Oh my god, let me tell you. And that leads me into a very funny point, right? So when I had first got Storm, right, I was like, you know, this, and I heard that it was very different than, you know, the previous games. I was like, all right, let me see what the meta is. Let me search up, you know, how to actually be somewhat decent at this game, you know, since I gotta relearn it. Let's see what people are saying, what their takes on it is. Almost every video I watched, they said, in this game, you're gonna come across a bunch of cheese awakenings and everything. You literally have to be cheesy to win. If you want to win, if you're losing and you want to win, you might have to spam a little bit. You might have to go awakening. Don't let the ego get to you, bro. It's that type of game.
Let's be real. We all have to probably have to spam our way up to actually get up to the top. We all have done it. No one cannot say here, or the viewers cannot say that they didn't have to do that in rank match. Like, let's be real. Those characters are out of control. They are too much to deal with.
The only time I spam is to counter a spammer. I do not like to spam. I hate spamming. I don't like to use back.
Also remember,
like you gotta use that shit over and over again.
Also remember is that, you know, there's a lot of more different things to this because now they can't run away too much. They I met a lot of puppet users that chose that Great Ninja War map. Woo! And they try to think that they could run away, like, you know, well, Delta laser beams, lock on, shoot. There you go. Bam.
I'm not gonna lie. I hate it. I gotta disagree with that one.
I'm about to know who I'm about to get him.
I have
I'm
to,
about to get
bro. I
him.
have
This game is so easy to run away on.
track
It's easy to
stars.
run away.
I have seen some D1 Olympic prospect track and field runners on this game, because I'm not gonna lie, I done. And the worst part is, bro, this is how bad it is. I'm gonna tell you how bad it is. It's to the point where on rank, bro, if somebody has 0 subs and I see them start backpedaling, especially because now you can spam counters, I just be like, go ahead and get your subs back, big fella. I'll be over here waiting, because I'm not about to chase you and get counter spammed and support spam, and then by the time I actually hit you, get subs refilled, and I got 1 or none. So it's that's how bad it is in this game for running. Like, I literally like, you know what? I'ma just have to beat you on this sub war again. I did it the first time, I'll do it again. I'm not chasing you. I'ma just sit here and wait. Hey man, that timer is going down. You got less HP than me? Go ahead, run. Run all you want to. I will stand right here and wait these 90 seconds. Hey.
I'm not gonna. I had some people who did that, like, type of like, oh, okay, you know, I got you, but you know, at the same time, it's like it comes to choosing the right character for the right people. Like, I know, like, I don't like that in this game. Like, you don't have a character selection and everything else. You gotta like kind of select your team before going into rank or customs, which. It's kind of like really kind of messed up, because it's like, you know, it doesn't give us like, okay, if I'm like, oh, I'm fighting this person, oh, I know how he fights, I need to use this, because hell no, excuse my language, I am not fighting against that type of crazy people. So I get it and stuff, but it's, you know, you have to understand, it's like, you know, there's Sasuke with the teleporting, there's, you know, there is Minato, there's Delta, there's, you know, other type of characters that can get, you know, can get closer to them. It's not like they can do like they used to in Storm 4, because if you remember back then, they actually tried to like spam. Some of these players would actually do this type of stuff, and then, you know, they would just continue on with that and like keep their distance, keep far apart, especially puppet players too. Those were the worst. And, you know, it coming up to like now, it's like, you know, the new character itself, like Homo, I can't even pronounce his name. Yeah. These weird names they come up with. It's like, you know, you see that the dude is actually broken in the game. So he does a lot of crazy stuff. And, you know, it kind of changed. Like, it's great that they added these characters in. I'm really hoping in the near future with the season pass, and maybe they might have another one, is that they will like add some of the characters that we actually want to see, such as, you know, a fan favorite out of everyone who's like rumored, that hopefully this rumor is true, is that Kurenai Yugi might be stepping on the battlefield. So if that is true,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it, because this is what I'm saying about this game, right? And Storm and Naruto holds a special place in my heart, but I gotta keep it above. The game devs this year was on goofy timing, because like you just said, you have to make a team before you fight, and you're stuck with that. And then you can't cancel matchmaker for real. You get into a match so fast, that's that, right? It's like why like you gotta close app, you gotta do all this extra stuff. Like, why not just allow people to pick their characters on the fly like you've been doing? Like, it's stuff that they can't, so why not add this? It's always been like this. And it's like, for this game, like, and when I've seen a lot of reviews on it, people are like, yo, this is a cash grab, like, you know, whatever. I don't really agree with that. I feel like this is like the demo for Storm 5, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is them testing it out. But at the same time, it's like, Boruto has been out for so long now. Why don't you have all of the Boruto characters as part of the roster. Why can't I play as Metal Lee? Why can't I play as, you know what I'm saying, Shikadai? Like, why is it only the reskins for these characters that we've been had? If you dropped a new game, just drop the Boruto roster with it. It's Naruto to what? Boruto Connections or whatever. But there's no Boruto characters. There's Boruto.
No, they got all the different.
You know what I'm saying? Like they did bring like Delta and you know, they did bring those characters in, which I think that's nice. I do like those characters, but at the same time, it's like, where are the rest of these characters? Like Dinky would have been cool to use. You see people spamming with Mecha Naruto. Let me spam with Dinky. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wish they would have included that, like included more Boruto characters, you know.
Gara San or whoever the fuck that was, the one that used the Iron Sand or whatever, the Black Sand Iron Sand.
Don't he use Iron Sand?
It was a Shikadai? Yeah, no, not Shikadai. Shiki. It starts with something. I can't.
Kenshigi.
Yeah. I saw that would have been cool to add to the game actually, but I think he would have had a little bit more of a similar fighting style as Gaara does, because when you watch the series of him, it's like, you know, he could do basically what Gaara can do, but his sand is black. So, but I get where you're coming from.
That would have made the game feel fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's just the design, you know, and a little bit of a combo switch up from Child Guard, right? You have a dude, because we don't really have anybody that uses basis attack with metal sand, you know, the iron sand or whatever, right? We have the sorcery, but that's only in that one jutsu. So seeing that in a character, that would have been cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they dropped the ball on that, man. I just don't understand why we have all these Boruto titled games and barely any Boruto characters for real. Just the same character.
The fact that they won't add movie characters because what was his name? The Dark Naruto.
I think it had a skin.
It started with an M.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about from that one movie where they did the.
I will be playing with that. I know he'll be so broken in this game, though.
Yeah.
Well, I know exactly. Despite the fact that you're like, I want to say this too. It's like you're right that they should have added more of the Boruto characters from the series on here. Like, you know, Kurnai's daughter would have been probably being cool. Like some of them did only have skins. It was just, and it's not like everyone had like the right skins too. It's like, you know, there were some skins that were still missing. I know like one of my members was talking about the skin that he was really looking forward to was the After the Great War skin for Sasuke. Like they had Sakura's and Naruto's, but not Sasuke's, which didn't really make any sense whatsoever because it was like, okay, that was one of the skins that should have been on there. I kind of saw like some of the skins like for Kabuto. I thought like, you know, it's like, okay, they didn't really give him anything. Like, you know, there was like the Sound Ninja headband one, then there was a leaf one. You know, it was just like it. You know, it wasn't even there. So, but going back to the character,
they should have added that one. It was that one filler episode where Kabuto. It was that one filler episode where Kabuto attacked or something. And
I know the one you're right.
That version of him with the hair and that would have been cool to see in the game. Like it's included. That was also a fire part of the anime too. I think that's when you see Rock Lee and Mike God team up against a cloak-tailed beast. That shit look cool. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like it just feels like Storm 4. Oh, I'm lying. I'm not gonna say that. That's what we thought.
They could have done a little bit better It's just that now, even back then, it's like the Sound Ninja 4 wasn't even in. So it's like now that they added them in, it was like, okay, now, oh my gosh, but it's like my biggest disappointment was like, you know, Karnai not being there from the very beginning when she was not like she was only used as a support. Now she's not even in it anyway. Like that was not cool. Like I'm hoping the season pass kind of has a little bit more dope into it and stuff. And I don't know why, but it's like, did anyone else probably get like the weirdest feeling that they're gonna probably add like the characters from this story mode from Boruto, this little special story they made?
They might do that. Hey, you know what I just realized? We don't even have adult Konohamaru.
Oh,
that's another thing they've been complaining
right.
about. They have been on their ass about Konohamaru. They won't add them for nothing.
Really?
Bro, that's crazy. We don't even have adult Konohamaru. That's
Also,
wild.
you know what? Another thing too, as a Jonin that is missing, is Gaara's sensei, like Bucky.
Man, that man butt.
Well, in other previous Naruto games, that dude was literally badass.
Yeah,
bad.
I'm not gonna cap. I'm just trolling. That would be cool to see because he is a Naruto character. He's just one of the more forgotten ones, I guess. They just keep forgetting that.
Because you don't see him much of what he does, but in the game, it's like they gave him like the wind style. That dude was even cool. The Ambu girl.
Yeah, you know what? The Ambu girl was that. That's what I'm saying. Like, because I've been playing Naruto for a long time, and excuse me for interrupting, but in Naruto Ultimate Ninja, before Ultimate Ninja Storm, I'm talking about for the PS2. I feel like they incorporated those characters.
Right.
I could be wrong, but I feel like I definitely have played with that Ambu girl, and she doesn't even have that much screen time in one of the Naruto games, like one of the older Naruto games. It's like, bro, yeah, I got like, and this is why people say that the Dragon Ball Z games are better, because if you look at Budokai or even Raging Blast, they include movie characters, they include like almost every character in the series, at least for Budokai. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Naruto would be so great if they just did that as well. Like they have so many great characters and so many unique skills and unique powers in the game to not utilize that, and not incorporate those characters.
Personally, it's one of those things that they really should actually add these type of characters, because they put them in, like, I remember playing like Naruto Clash of the Ninja Revolution 2. Like that storyline was really cool. It had Kagura, like I know it was a filler, but it was really cool. And I thought it would have been really awesome if they would have put that as in the show when they were younger. And I thought that was cool to actually see her. Like she was kind of like an ex-Ambu, but she was a really bad person in the game, like really bad. Like, I can't really say what I want to say, but you know where I'm coming from. So,
you know how crazy it is to even further the point to how I'd like to go back to what I said, where they take 2 steps forward and then like 3 steps back. Even in Ultimate Ninja, bro, you had Kid Naruto in the Rock Lee outfit, bro, and the guy Sensei Lee, bro. That junk was trippy, bro. I seen my boy Naruto and all green looking like Rock Lee and Guy. I'm like, hey, this is hard. They don't incorporate nothing like that no more. Like they don't. And it's just like, why?
Yeah, it's just like, I kind of always feel though, like for Bankai Neko, is it's like, they could have done more. Is it's like you're making a lot of profit of the Naruto series. Let's be real. And fans are asking for these characters and everything else. you should have put these characters in here. The fact that you are taking it out and then seeing profit go down from this game is like, it kind of shows from there. It's like, answer what players want to see. And starting with the characters. There are characters they wanted to see in that. Like, I say the idea that they actually came up with was great, was making a Minato background story of him. And, they were like asking the fans, it's like, okay, out of all the characters in Naruto, who do you want to see with, to know more about their background and everything else? Everyone, as a shocking surprise, which actually it's not really shocking, it's really obvious, have chose Minato. And in the manga, they talked about how Minato was back in the day, all this other type of stuff, because, he, in the series, like, he died very short, like, very fast. He didn't really, like, he just started to be Hokage.
Bro died at episode 1. Let's be real. I said bro died really before episode 1, but in episode 1 you get told about how he died fighting the Nine Tails and stuff. Like, right. he didn't literally come into play literally into Shippuden. And I think even then he was mentioned, and then he really popped up in the Pain arc when Naruto had lost control and stuff.
Personally, that was the thing there. It was like, he wasn't mentioned that much. Then we later on beginning to get to know more about him, in that he was Naruto's father. I never did understand why they actually tried to kept it from Naruto, because personally that really didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I really kind of think it was like one of those things. It's like, yeah, you should tell the boy that is his father. Like, even when he got older, it didn't make any sense. It was like, he still don't know who was his real father. Everyone else knew, but he, like, they just didn't tell him. It's like, okay, well, it's kind of messed up until they actually brought it into like a little, series where it's like, okay, Naruto's meeting him in his like inner world and stuff like that, when the Nine Tails got unleashed when the village was being attacked. So that was understandable, but moving to what I said, it was just that, they doing so well in the manga, and like just talking about, like the characters, giving them much time on there and everything else, it's going well. But when you look at more in the video game series, and then you have like these filler basically in the game, such as Clash of the Ninja Revolution 2. I don't know if anyone played that. I played it. I loved that game on the Wii. It was really the best. It's like, you see these characters, it's like, you kind of think, it's like, okay, these characters could have been in here. These characters could have just put in the Naruto game. And it's they're not really answering so much on what fans want. It's just more as in what they want to like do with it. So that's why you can see how the game is dying so much, but the manga is getting more popular because it's the storyline keeps popping up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like just sidetrack did where Super Mario Smash Bros. Where they had like polls on what characters they wanted to see in the game, and then people would do the poll, and then they would add that character into the game, and like stuff like that would freshen up Storm, because it is really like 90% of the characters that we have in this game we've already had for several games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just the most we get with certain characters is, an extra skin. Like, literally 95% of the roster is characters we already had. And I understand that in the beginning because, there was no Boruto, there was no new characters. The game's been around for a long time. But now there's Boruto, a whole sequel to Naruto with a whole new main set of, side characters and whatnot. And none of them are present in the new game. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it just doesn't make sense. You should give the Boruto characters the same representation the Naruto cast had. You know what I'm saying? We have Kid Kiba, we have all these different people. Why don't we have Metal Lee and everybody else? It's like, that in itself, in general, would have made the game feel a whole, like, especially with the new mechanics, it would have made the game feel fresh and really like a next generation Naruto game. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me that they have the content and the characters to use, but they're just not incorporating them at all. It's wow.
You're right about that, and I have to say I 100% agree, because the Naruto community has been, I honestly have to say, when it comes to video games, the Naruto community has literally had the worst look out of all other anime-based games, because I gotta say, between sometimes certain fillers or movies and stuff like that, like, they don't incorporate none of that into the games. Naruto the Last, I would love to play with the dude that was fighting with Naruto on the moon. I would love to have the dude that Naruto fought in what was that one movie? The Taijutsu dude. I think that was the one with him and Sasuke had to jump that guy.
Oh, the big brolic dude.
Yeah, that said he could probably be able to use the 8 gates without having to die. I would love for him to be in the game. I would love for the dude that was in all the rest of the movies to be in the game. I would love for a lot of the Boruto cast to be incorporated, because we got Road to Boruto, and I think that was the last update on Storm 4. We got that. Then we got Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers. Then we got Storm Connections. And across all of this, they still haven't been able to properly add a slew of characters. Like, the most of the roster on Storm has been carbon copies of fucking Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and Sarada. Like, I don't see the point of y'all making a whole nother character just to take up space, like how they had it on Storm 4 with Night Guy. Why did y'all need to add a whole nother guy? Like, why is it that I just can't utilize Night Guy on guys' move list? Like, this, I'm not understanding, like, why y'all had to expand this so much for no other reason. Like, we have been playing Naruto for me, I've been playing Naruto a little over a decade now. And in this time frame, I can't say that I fell in love with the Naruto franchise. It was like the way the combat was, all the way from back on PlayStation 2 with Ninja Storm. Not Ultimate Ninja Storm, but just Ninja Storm. With the side scroll, like, I loved playing Naruto. But over the years, it seemed like where they not really focus so much on the game itself, and they're just trying to push out something that can just grab money. Like you said, a money grab. And we, as the community, are suffering heavily because of it.
Yeah. Like if they would have added, and this is a filler character that would have been so raw, and that's what I'm saying is like like that's a strength, you know, because Naruto has such great characters and, like I said, great abilities. You feel me? In a game where we've been getting the same characters for years, and then you know you make a new character, which is really just a different version of Naruto in a different arc with some different skills and jutsus, and you're like, here you go. But when you have the content to actually add all these new characters, you don't. Like Shira, he was raw, dude. He made his own version of like the 8 gates, it was like the 7 heavenly breaths or something. You get like Petsus and stuff. If you would have added him into the game, like that would have been cold. Like even as a DLC or a pre-order or something, you know what I'm saying? Like probably not a pre-order because like who cares? But he's a filler character. But just to add, like there's so many cool characters that just you don't get to utilize or use, and it really does suck. It really does suck that they don't incorporate that more, you know, add these characters.
It really does, because you know, I feel like they could really try their hardest to make some fighting styles for them. I don't think that it's really that hard to actually do. I just think that they're not really trying their hardest to actually do it because they're not caring so much about that, which, you know, it's just like what Pyro said. It's like it's to them, it's like it's profit and everything towards them, and they just want to get money out of it. And you know, I get it and stuff, but at the same time though, is this like, you know, if you think smart on it, you know, the best thing you can do is like giving people what they wanted, because it makes your business a lot more better. So, you know, doing those type of things will increase the odds of that. And, you know, there might be people in the company who probably agree to like how we feel, that, you know, maybe we should just add these characters in there. It's like, because it's like some of them don't like missing, or, you know, it really don't make any sense. And it's just, it don't really kind of, it doesn't really mix up with the plot. Like Tershi said, it's like, you know, we barely have any characters from Boruto, and then the ones they added was mainly, you know, Kawaki, Sarada, excuse me, Mitsuki, and then some of the villains on Boruto 2, and then, you know, the from one of the movies. And then they just gave us the rest of the skins for the other characters. So it's like it wasn't really much in, as you could say. It was just it was just like kind of like, oh, we're gonna just give y'all this and that and stuff. So it's like maybe they're kind of having a hard time trying to figure out on how they can do it, because, you know, at the same time, if you look at the series very carefully, when we were watching Boruto, you see how some of the getting actually, like, you know, they are really focused on making new jutsus, everything else. Like that samurai young girl, like, you know, she's like really cool. And I would say that the girl with the purple hair, I forgot her name, with the little pet, I felt like she was also really cool too. I think that they could have put her in the game as well. It's like there's so many other characters they could have just done, and it didn't really kind of make sense that they just didn't really try to incorporate that, because it could have gone even bigger. It could have got bigger. It's like, the question, I guess, is like, it's on the table, is, are we even going to see any of those characters?
Nope.
And like another thing too, what is this future DLC is going to bring? It's like, is code gonna be in there? There's probably, I can probably say that for the rest of us, is like, even the viewers, is that people are eager to actually wanting to use code. So there is a mystery on like who's going to be in what, because it's kind of bizarre that we only getting like certain like these characters from the series. I guess I can understand, but it's like when you see them in the manga or on the show, it's just like, oh, okay, well, when are they going to actually try to add them in? But my thing is that the game is going good so far. It was just that, let's talk about these lobbies though. When they did add like the inviting system.
Man, the lobbies are doo-doo trash, man. Like, ain't no way y'all messed up lobbies this bad, bro. Y'all had one job and y'all really messed it up.
Gosh, like the lobbies were kind of like really it wasn't even that bad, even in like the other Storm games when the lobbies were there. Like it wasn't this bad. Like lagging, like sometimes you couldn't even join with the people you want to. You see the person twice. It's like, are they even going to update this and stuff? Like, or is this gonna be how it's gonna be? Like, it's similar to Endless, but it's just it don't make sense. But what do you guys think about the lobbies they have added?
The lobbies need a complete and total rework. Like, there's no way that this game is crashing, this game is glitching, freezing. Like, lobbies stay doubling up, and it's like, we are now having to wait for y'all to do patchwork on something that, in all honesty, probably should have been out when the game first was released. And instead of everybody being able to enjoy the game as it was supposed to be enjoyed, we now have to sit up here and play the waiting game for basically nothing. Now, to me, because on the one hand, I can't really say I have a problem with, know what I'm saying, with the lobbies themselves. My problem, in all honesty, mainly comes from how the game is just, how can I put this? In these lobbies where, okay, we are basically put into a way that instead of us being able to enjoy the game as we wanted to, like we've been waiting for, be patiently waiting for them to decide to add lobbies, and instead of us being able to enjoy said lobbies, we have royally, and I do mean royally, been screwed over. Because now, where we was sitting up here playing the waiting game, and I have to wait for you to fix so me and my friends can play, because we playing as thing, you know, this person's getting kicked out, this person's being dropped down. Hold on one moment. I'm about to whoop her butt. Fuck with this shit.
We can actually say that it's has actually gone really crazy. But, you know, it's probably possible they're going to update those lobbies pretty soon.
It's all about whether they feel like it's a priority to get them organized.
What about you, Toshi? Well, I think that's it for what we have now. You know, these discussions was really good getting to reviewing the Storm connection. Toshi, what do you think?
My bad. My whole thing like just cut out. What was the question?
The online session.
Oh man, laggy. A lot of the times I feel like, especially, and I get it because when new stuff drops, you know, the servers are a little bit more active, possibly, and stuff. But I feel like there's a lot of lag, and then what just makes it worse is there's a lot of disconnectors too. So matchmaking can be very annoying, especially when you're trying to grind the rank and stuff. But yeah, I definitely need to fix some of that lag. Like, it'll be like times where I'm playing a game in slow motion. Like, every single thing I do, I could see like just happen frame by frame. It's like, what the heck?
Right. And I'm hoping they do make it better and actually try to give us an update and fix the whole lagging system, because it's too much. But that is it, what we have. That wraps up this week's episode. Thank you for watching. What was your thoughts about the Naruto Storm connections? Leave your comments down below. Tell us what you guys think about the game. Join us again for our next episode. Subscribe to see more videos. I want to thank my co-hosts today, Toshi the Dream and Pyro, for joining me today. And if you're interested in still looking to join a clan, we are still looking for members. Link to the server will be down below in the link tree. And if you are a clan leader and wanting to looking for other clans to connect with and do clan battles or make alliances or anything like that, the link to the United Summit server is in the link tree, and it will also be down below. This is Lord Hokage Hyuga, signing off.